Okay, so this is the first draft of the storyboard for the Cajon Table video. I'm just going to walk through each one of these and sort of explain the text and what I was thinking, because I don't think it's very clear or well explained in the little scribbles that are on there. It's sort of color-coded. But I should start with the main point of this video is this project. We built a table, right? It was a group project, furniture detailing a design class at architecture school. And what we wanted to do was, or what we were tasked with doing, was creating a piece that accommodated three things: seating, storage, and a usable surface. So, long story short, we interpreted usable as musical and created a table made out of drums where all the light colored surfaces are playing surfaces. And storage, so that's usable surface. Storage, as in it stores itself, all the cajones flip back and slide underneath. And as you do that, it not only stores the physical objects, but also the sound, because when it's closed, it sort of mutes all the different drums as they face each other, the sound holes and stuff. And seating, yes, because the cajon is a seat, and a drink table, and a nightstand, and tons of other things. So I wanted to start with a shot of just the cajon table, and something that says the Cajon Table Video Project, and the little, in the top right, have it sort of start out of focus and slide back into focus, sort of like a third and seventh kind of thing. If you've seen them, their videos. That guy's videos are great. Opening slide, fades into focus. Maybe the title also fades into view, maybe not. And I'm thinking there's multiple, the background right now is just people talking, audio, that's the red. And it will slowly die out. So then the next, I think it'll just be a hard cut to the next shot, which shows a little bit more of the space in the atrium, a little bit of the floor pattern in there, slightly more zoomed out, and maybe the talking is slightly faded, slightly farther away. And then another possibly hard cut to the entire or more of the atrium, showing the symmetry. So the first shot is maybe symmetrical, the second one is not, and the third one is back to the symmetry, or maybe not. Shows the whole atrium with the floor patterns and the cone thing centered. More zoomed out, maybe the sound, people talking, slightly less. I might take the sound of ambient chatter from various takes and overlay it to get, and then just slowly cut out takes. I'm not sure. And then it will cut to that beautiful shot we have of the cajon table from above, like 3 stories up, looking down the atrium where it's centered, and you see all these geometric symmetries and stuff. And then it'll, from there, somehow get really quiet. I think all the sound will disappear now. Maybe some little fuzzies. And then we will start way back down on the ground, showing Matt has some cool shots of us walking in, of my feet. So I don't know. What's first? Either you see my feet walking in, and then we switch back to the overhead shot, and you see me walking in from one side, or maybe me walking, then you see the feet after you see the... This is too much detail, I think, for a storyboard. I will continue. This will be silence, except for the footsteps. And then maybe a close-up shot of the cajon table, like really close. And then where you see my hands come up and grab one of the cajones. And you hear the footsteps approaching. That's the next one where you see me grab the cajon. And you'll hear that with the audio. Grab and pull out. Okay. And then maybe it'll zoom out to a more overall shot once I start playing. Maybe there's some mixes of close-up shots. This is the next one. Close-up shots of just like the hands and a zoomed-in portion of the cajon, zoomed out, and then zooming out to show me alone. Just me in the open atrium and the echoing sounds. I guess that's this next one. Show how I'm alone in the space, is what I wrote. Next up is Silas. So maybe the close-up shot of Silas standing by the edge, by the column, waiting to come in, or starting to walk out. But here, you can still hear the cajon here. Maybe a little faded, maybe not. Maybe I'll ask Mike to help with the sound. Okay. And then Silas will come in. Maybe a shot from behind him, seeing me playing and seeing him pull out a cajon. Silas like comes into the shot while I'm playing. That would be cool if I had it. Then here it gets a little vague. I guess I thought a little too much about the beginning and not about the rest. Silas. Maybe some split shots. I don't know if that's a good idea. Kim on one side, B on the other, or a close up and a far out shot of both of us playing. And then we'll have to zoom out slightly to bring back the corner of the enter inch space. I'm not sure what that means. But the next two people, Nick and I think it's Phil, enter at the same time. Maybe we'll switch back to the overhead camera and use some close-up shots of their face right before they enter, and then overhead. And throughout all this, I have to find a good... So I have 5 audio takes. Some of them, the drumming is good. Some of them, the drumming is pretty bad. So I want to mesh them together so that you don't notice that there's 5 different takes of the audio. I'm not sure if... Right now I have all the audio and video of the different takes lined up, but maybe it doesn't have to be. I'll just take the cool sounding parts, especially for the beginning. I think it can sound kind of meh in the middle, and I'll explain why. So yeah, the other 2 guys enter. This is what I have from the overhead camera, and then some close medium range shots of Nick pulling up a cajon and everybody drumming. Quick shot of the 4 of us. Then I have something about a moving skateboard shot. We have some lowdown. We taped like a GoPro to a skateboard and rolled it around and had some cool shots. I don't know if this is the time for that. Maybe some more split screen stuff. That's not really thought out. But it won't be too long until the 5th and 6th people enter. Shots of... I have it as Phil and Trey, so it must have been Sungho and Nick before. But a couple shots of us all jamming once we all sit down. I haven't thought too much about it. I think it'll just play out. It'll be more... I'll play with the film and see what happens. And now, somehow, once we're all playing, this part I don't know. I want to transition into some sort of rendering sequence, because the next part of this film, I want the music to continue, but the music isn't that good. It's just improvisation. We didn't really plan it. So I'll keep some of the good parts in the beginning, save some of the good parts for the end of the sound. But in the middle, I'll just kind of play whatever, and somehow transition from this shot of us playing to a rendering, a 3D rendering of the cajon table, or maybe some sort of sketch where we can explain how it works. And basically, the stuff I said at the beginning of this video, of the storyboard, I want to show once we transition to the... once we transition to the cajon table video. Actually, I have that drawn out, so I'll keep going. Overhead. Elements. Apply. Turn. I'm not sure what this means. Well, eventually you see all 6 of us from above, which is a cool shot. I guess I had one idea here where some ripples go across, and the first one deletes the people, but the cajon table's still there, and the next one maybe deletes the space around the cajon table, so it's just the table, and the third ripple, it's like a vertical line that moves across the screen from right to left, and that line deletes stuff as it goes. So eventually we're left with just the table. Phase out content until just table. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Maybe I'll make a simple model of the atrium. Maybe not. Maybe white. That'd be cool. And then some sort of text on the screen. I don't want to have too much text, though, but I want to explain somehow that that's what I'm saying. School furniture project. Final for store. Oh, this is kind of cool. So maybe just a little text that says school furniture project, maybe ARC 432 or whatever it was. And it can say piece requirements for storage, seating, and a usable surface. And then I can use some text animations. I kind of like that. To cross out usable, replace that with musical. And cross out storing and make it self-storing. And the seating I'll just leave, you know. And then I want to have some sort of 3D animation. Camera pans down, and the cajones, the cajones all slide out and rotate at once. Maybe some more text. Made of 12 drums called cajones. Ripple from center. No, okay. So highlight the 6. So do this. You highlight the 6 playing surfaces of the cajones and the 6 playing surfaces of the table. That's 12 total. And then maybe zoom in close on 1 or 2 of them. think that, I don't know if that'd be a rendering of the finished product. It'd be cool to somehow show how they have the acoustical holes and when. That's the next. I'm not sure what these two shots are. Close up of musical surface connection. Frame glued together, musical surfaces screwed for optimal acoustical vibrations. Yeah, all the acoustical surfaces are lighter and they're screwed on purpose. Maybe some way to show all the different uses of these things. It's for seating. It could also be a stool or a footrest or a drum, drink stand, lots of things. Eventually, the next shot, I want to depict how the cajones emit sound out the back and the table drums emit sound downward. So when you pull out a cajon, you can play both. But when you flip the cajones around, like in the next frame, and push them back in, it mutes the whole table. Yes. And I think that's most of the stuff I want to explain. Maybe not that well, but somehow we have to transition back. Maybe the music starts getting louder again. Transition back to the atrium where you see people playing. Maybe zoom in really close up for the switchback. So from the rendering, you just see someone, there's a rendered cajon, and then you see a hand hit it. And you zoom out, and look, we're all playing again. We're back at Slocum. Some more cool shots of us playing it. There were some cool endings, you know? So I get some of the cool pattern rhythms we made during the end. And then the very last shot, so all 5 takes, we tried to end like this, so we all just, it was totally improv. We'd all just stop on the last note and like slowly put our hands up in the air. No more sound whenever we ended together. And then we switched to, you show people walking away and you switch to the shot from above. This is really cool. Because if you look at us from above, we all stand up, flip the cajones around, and slide them back in. And essentially the cajones, like from above, slide under and just totally disappear. We all walk off in different directions, so all the people disappear too. And then fade out to black. Oh, then to the credits and bloopers. Yeah, the credits will be the builders, the players, 3 people build it, 6 players, the film crew, photography, and then special thanks to the John Bryant Who Cook teachers and anybody else who helped me make the video, Slocum Hall, Syracuse Architecture. But I have some good bloopers, so I'm excited to get to that part. And I guess that's a quick, bad summary of this, which I will put to moving image of this. Since I couldn't explain it in person, I'm gonna go on my computer and like basically just move through these storyboard slides as I would have if I was talking about it with you or with someone to get a review. Okay, that's all.